Now, what would we do without real estate agents? Yeah. Real estate agents have got such a critical role. If we didn't have sales agents, then who knows how people would sell their homes. Now, before we had buyer's agents, who knows how people bought their homes because there's just so much that you have to take into account. If you're selling your home, your sales agent's going to take care of it for you. They get paid for it and they strive to get you top dollar if you're selling your home. If you're buying your home, buyer's agent is protecting you to make sure that you don't buy a lemon. In Queensland, it is buyer beware. And we talk about this in a lot more detail in a future module about contracts, but it's so easy to make mistakes when spending so much money. And so the sales agents do a great job. They should do a great job protecting their clients and defending their clients, getting as much money as they can for their clients, creating a smooth process for their clients. If you come across the sales agent whilst you're inspecting an open home, they'll be pleasant towards you, but they're just seeing dollar signs walking around. That's what you are as a dollar sign to them. How much money would that person have? How much would they pay for this property? What do you think it's worth? Okay. That's their core goal. There can be some nice ones who will say, oh, this one doesn't suit you. I've got another one coming up in a couple of weeks that I shouldn't tell you about because it'll suit you. Where have you been looking? How long have you been looking? They're creating chit chat, which is a beautiful thing because it gives you the opportunity to create rapport with them and a lasting impression. And we cover a lot of that off in module 4 and later on when you're making an offer. Right. So real estate agents play a crucial role in the home selling process. And so this is an outline of their main functions. So when a seller goes to a real estate agent, hopefully they go and speak to more than one. I would recommend 3 minimum because it's a lot of money that the seller is going to make from selling their home. And they want to make sure that they're aligned with a sales agent who's got the same big picture in mind as they do and has processes in place that help them achieve their goals. So their pricing strategy, they have to conduct market analysis and they've got to thoroughly research comparable properties in the area that recently sold to determine a realistic asking price. And recently sold is so important. It does, especially in a hot market. Whatever sold 3 or 4 months ago is already too old. You need to have a look at what sold recently. And by that, I mean, as soon as a home gets sold, ring up the sales agent, say, are you willing to share what you sold that property for with me? I'm trying to do some market research. Okay. Some of them will share what they sold the property for if they're really proud of it and they got a really great price. Yeah, no worries. I got this. And if it was complicated and full of lack of transparency, a couple of things went wrong, they didn't get as much as they told the seller that they would probably get for it, whatever reason, they may not ever tell anyone the price. But yeah, it's wait for months sometimes to see them change it from under contract to a sold price on real estate or domain. Pricing advice. Advise the sellers on the best pricing strategy for their home, considering factors like the current market conditions, the current buyer demand, and the property's unique features. And we remember a few pages back, we were talking about the unique features that they might have identified about that property. So if we go back a few pages to internal home features and external home features, they'll be assessing all of these features. They'll be pinpointing the ones where they're going to get most marketing by showing these off, for want of a better term. Okay, so back to real estate agents. So professional photography and videography, if that sales agent wants to advise their seller to have a video of the property, it depends on the property. Like prestige properties generally have videos. And sometimes if you've got a block of land and you really want to show off the fact that it's in nature and there's wild birds around and it's, a video can help to explain that. And the sales agent may just take a video with their phone or they may hire a professional videographer. And it all depends on how much the seller wants to pay for marketing. Online advertising. So we've got domain and real estate, there's social media, and then they've also got their own websites as well. So, if you were looking for something with Ray White, you could go to Ray White's website, and on their website, they will have their current listings and recently sold. Digital and print marketing. So when you go to an open home, there's all those brochures and flyers. Sometimes they'll be copy paste and they'll get some details wrong. That happens a little bit, like the date of the auction sometimes, or the time of the auction, or the place of the auction. I've seen that. Staging advice. Provide guidance on presenting the property in its best light, which may involve explaining to the seller that they should declutter or do some minor renovations or get some professional styling for when the home is revealed to the buyers at an open home. So as buyer's agents, we're often invited to come and inspect homes before the photographer gets there or on the day that the photographer is there. They help a special open just before it's released to the market, which is a courtesy to buyer's agents, because that then allows us to prepare our clients more fully and conduct due diligence early on. Because you may want to, here we go, sorry. You may want to place an offer on a home and you know that there's going to be multiple offers placed on that home. And so if you can get in and see that home earlier and you go, yeah, this ticks all my boxes. I love it. I want to place an offer on it, but it's going to be open to multiple offers. At least get a building and pest inspection done before the deadline for the offers, if you can, because then when it comes time to submit your offer, if you're happy with your building and pest inspection report, then your offer is not subject to a building and pest inspection, and that just makes you that little bit more attractive to the seller, provided your offer price was competitive with the others. And it's not unusual for a seller to accept someone's offer that's less because they've got a cleaner contract without these due diligence or finance clauses in it. So we will talk a lot more about that in future modules. Just a teaser there. Buyer negotiation and communication. Fielding inquiries, responding to inquiries from potential buyers, answering questions, and scheduling inspections. That includes notifying buyer's agents when there is an off-market or a pre-market opportunity. Negotiations represent the seller's interests during negotiations with buyers. So keep this in mind, and we have got a whole module on negotiations. Keep this in mind. When the sales agent rings up buyer to negotiate with a counter offer, the sales agent has everything in front of them. They know their script of what they're going to say. They know what their seller's instructions are. They've got it all laid out in front of them. They're organized. They pick up the phone, they call you, and you're on your way home from the gym. You're caught on the hop. You're like, oh, right. Okay. What does that mean? So it's geared towards the seller from day one. Hence, we're learning this information so that we can be at least on an even keel with what the seller's situation is. Okay. So we've got a whole module on negotiation. It's going to help you to sort of plan for that in advance. Next, contract management. Assist with the preparation and review of contracts, ensuring all legal requirements are met. So a sales agent knows contracts back to front. Okay. However, doesn't mean that when they say to you, oh, that's fine, that's just a bit about that. If there is something, don't worry, we've got a whole module on contracts. If there's something in the contract that's a special condition, you need to show it to your conveyancer, because you're not a buyer's agent and you're not a sales agent and you're not a solicitor. So show it to your conveyancer. As buyer's agent, there'll be sometimes stuff in contracts where that's merely going to the conveyancer or the solicitor, because you can't sign something if you don't know what you're signing. And that's why we've got that module 1 on teeing up your conveyancer at the beginning, so that you've got that relationship with them, so that you can send that contract. They will have a look at it on the same day. They know who you are. They've already got your background information. And we also have on the last module, settlement, I believe and that's where we have a lot of information about what you can ask your conveyancer to put into contracts if you want the contract to be more favorable to you. So there's lots for you to learn. Okay, I digress. Communication. Maintain regular communication with the seller, providing updates on buyer interest, offers, and the overall sales process. So you'll always hear people complaining about the sales agent if they're hard to get a hold of, they're not responsive. The seller will just say, oh, they told me they were going to do this and they ended up doing that. That's a sales agent who has not communicated well with the seller, and the seller has expected one thing and got something else, whether that be by mistake on either part. The seller might have misunderstood what the sales agent was saying, or the seller didn't get what the sales agent promised. The majority of sales agents are amazing. They're lovely people. And unfortunately, there are some who are, I don't know, sick of their job, not making enough money, looking for another job, bad at their job. And so their heart's maybe not in it. Yet there are some amazing sales agents out there who just keep on keeping on. Rockets. Let's carry on. Administrative support. Organize inspections. Schedule and coordinate building and pest inspection. So when you go and do your building and pest inspection, the sales agent has to be there or one of their representatives. Manage offers. So present offers to the seller and advise on the best course of action. Hear that? They advise their seller. So you need to get to know that sales agent, and we teach you how in future modules so that you can have a relationship with them and have develop some rapport with them before you place your offer, where possible. Liaise with solicitors. So yes, sales agents liaise with solicitors because they want to make sure that everything runs smoothly for their client. And local market expertise. I'm often surprised by people who get a sales agent from a different suburb to come and sell their home, but don't understand that because they don't know the area. They don't know the buyers. They've not seen them before. And when we go to an open home and I'm like, what are you doing here? You're from Camp Hill or wherever they're from. It's like, yeah, just helping out a friend or got this listing or whatever reason. And you're like, they'll say to you, so Shiona, you're a buyer's agent. What do you think it's worth? Help me out here. Anyway, so they should have local knowledge. Hire a sales agent who's a local in that area, who lives in that area. Kids go to school in that area if you're selling your home. Okay. And if you're buying your home and you're hiring a buyer's agent, get a buyer's agent that knows that area. There are a lot of buyer's agents now who call themselves borderless buyer's agents, and they're buying properties all over the place, never stepped foot in them. That doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Really? How can you buy a house that you haven't seen? For somebody that you're servicing and providing good quality service. Like, I know they'll have people inspect that home. I know that they'll get sales agents to take videos of the home and present them with that information, or property managers who want to get the job. So they will do a really favorable inspection and video of the home because they want to have that home on their rent roll. Just always get someone local. Important note, the specific services offered by real estate agents can vary depending on the agency and the terms of the agreement between the agent and the seller. All right. Selling techniques. Now, this is where so many people get a little bit frustrated and confused, and they feel like there's no control. They don't have any control of the situation because every situation is literally different. Every sales agency has their own processes for selling a home, different paperwork, different strategies, different marketing tools, different processes. So different agents prefer different methods of listing and selling properties. Additionally, the market, selling conditions, the property location, and the type of property will also determine the selling method used. So let's find out more about that. It can be very frustrating for buyers as the terminology can be confusing and all the different selling methods can be hard to navigate. Agency practices can differ widely. One may be okay with an offer submitted via email, while another may insist on a signed contract with your deposit. Now, as buyer's agents, we always try to submit our offers on a signed contract. It's more tempting to the seller. It's like, okay, this one's $5,000 cheaper, less, it's a lower offer by $5,000. But if I just put my name here, I've sold my house. So that it does hold more weight. The difficulty is getting a hold of the contract, getting it read by a conveyancer, getting everything done and still placing your offer in on time. So there's a lot of due diligence that needs to be done up front, and you'll learn all about that. Some of them will prefer to sell the home at auction. Some sellers will not want to sell by auction. Some sales agents will convince their sellers to sell by auction. For sale with no price, we have a whole module on auction, so that's enough there. For sale with no price, the agent is looking for offers and will probably provide a rough price guide if asked. So, well, I know when I'm looking for a property for a client, I know I can actually text that sales agent, say, can you give me a price guide? And they most times will get back to me with one. It depends. The more expensive the property, the less likely that is to occur. Best offers by. The sales agent wants you to provide your best and final offer by a certain time and day. So it might be, okay, all offers in by 4 p.m. Monday. Buyers will be making a decision on Monday evening. There will be no negotiations. However, the agent will initiate negotiations if they believe they can get a higher offer from a buyer. That's why it's crucial when you're at open homes to watch what you say and how much information you share. You need to watch read our module on open homes and watch the videos. So there's no obligation for the agent to stick to a specific time frame, and the sales agent has full control of the process. They call the shots. Best and final doesn't always guarantee an immediate acceptance or rejection either. They can then come back with a counter offer. It's not best and final in that case, is it? They call the shots, their game. What you can do is just learn as much information as you can and evaluate the home so that you understand what that home's value is to you. That's how you place your offer. So we have a whole module on evaluation, just in case you didn't know. Oh, yes, you did. Next. Okay, what if they say it's offers over 1.15? The agent is looking for offers and will usually provide a price guide. This can be frustrating because this can be a frustrating listing method where agents can reel in potential bidders and buyers with price guides that are often far from the realms of reality. I said that. I remember a home recently, I was inquiring about it for a client, and they said they had 19 offers. They had it listed as offers over 390,000, and it sold for 400 for high fours. Okay. And that is no wonder they got 19 offers. Now they got 19 people to play off against each other and negotiate with and suck every last dollar out of. I just thought that was a little bit misleading. Contact agent. The agent is not yet sure of a price. The market is in flux. They don't know what to put on it. They don't know what it's worth. They're going to let the market decide what it's worth or similar. Maybe they have had an offer that they weren't happy with. The agent may provide a price guide and will ask you to put in an offer if this is the case. What about when it just says expressions of interest? It's a campaign where agents ask buyers to make offers. Sometimes they're the best offers by date, but otherwise they might just say, look, we're just taking offers. The seller's going to decide on each case whether they like it or not. Price guide. The sales agent may give you a very broad price range. It will help you to understand if the property is within your price range. Very broad. Look, when they do stick the properties up onto realestate.com.au, they are asked by the software to pick a color. Remember the word. What is a word? What's the word I'm looking for? Let's use the word category for want of a better word. You've got to pick what the pricing category is. Is it up to 500,000? Is it 500 to 750,000? Is it 750 to 1 million? Is it 1 million to 1,500,000? Where are they going to slot that property in there? It's very broad, isn't it? So don't really rely on that at all, really. Very good sales agents can get very good money for homes. Under offer or under contract. This one brings me great frustration as well as many other home buyers because the sales agent will leave it saying under offer, under contract when it's sold or want to go because they haven't updated their information yet. So they've accepted an offer. However, don't let that deter you. A lot of contracts fall over. A lot do. So if there's a home that you really like and it's gone under contract, let the sales agent know. Call them every second day. Say, just checking, how's that contract going? How's it? And you will be surprised. You'll be surprised. A good percentage of contracts fall through. And it might be because the seller was tempted by a higher price offered, but the buyer never got their finance. They find out why the contract fell through. If that's the case, was it building a pest inspection? Or was it a contract because of finance? Why did it fall through? You need to know because that will affect what you value the home to be. Even the highest offer might not perfectly align with the seller's expectations. Seller might counter offer with a slightly higher price or request adjustments to the settlement date or other things. Frustratingly, the seller can use a counter offer to gauge the buyer's true level of interest and see if they're willing to increase their offer further. And of course, in a hot market, and you really love the house, then you might increase your offer more. It's your money. All I'm doing with this course is teaching you how to spend it wisely. Okay. You are the person who decides the value of the home. All right. So that is us talking about real estate agents' job and their selling techniques. The next video I'm going to talk about will be about unethical real estate agent tactics. I need you to be aware of it, but don't let one bad apple ruin your whole opinion of sales agents. Okay. They're nice people. They're just trying to do their job. There are sadly a couple out there, like I said before, that they just needed to get a different job or I don't know, do their job better. So nice to talk to you. Great to see you along for this video. I will quickly make another video about the unethical tactics that some naughty sales agents use. See you soon.